What's going on, and welcome to Joe's Geek Show, the video series where we talk comics. And I woke up to some very interesting news today. How interesting? Well, if you look at the screen, you can see how interesting. Black Adam is getting an early digital release. How early? November 22nd early. Like, for me, today early. Like, the movie is just a few hours away from being released on, Vudu and other digital platforms. And I thought to myself, that's very interesting because the movie has not been in theaters really all that long. In fact, it's only been in theaters for 31 days. So I found this article from The Direct, and says that Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam gets a surprise digital release date coming much sooner than most DC fans would expect. I mean, yeah, I was definitely not expecting this movie that soon. The long gestating DC Studios epic has been in theaters for just over a month and has done anything but light the world on fire. Now, with that right there, I have not seen this movie yet because where I'm at, the movie, it did go to theaters, but it was only in theaters for just a little over 2 weeks, and they had two different versions of the movie. Because I live in Japan, how American releases tend to work, at least at the theater closest to us, because there's only one theater within a certain radius and stuff like that. It's like 20 minutes away, it's at a mall. The next closest movie theater is well over an hour away. And again, typically how it works is whenever there's an American release, there's two versions of the movie. There's the original English version of the film that has the Japanese subtitles and a Japanese dub. One thing I've noticed is that the American English original audio track does not stay in theaters for very long. A lot of times it is kind of it kind of comes and goes over the course of a single weekend, and then all you have left is just the Japanese dub. So it's a movie I unfortunately was not able to see in theaters, and I was waiting for digital in order to watch this film. And I was expecting to wait till at least January. So again, this was a huge surprise that I'm going to be able to watch this movie in a few hours. But moving on, the film was released to less than stellar reviews, of which again, I saw the Rotten Tomatoes kind of thing, the aggregate, where the critics didn't score it too favorably, but the audiences seemed to like it. I believe last I checked, it was sitting at a 79% audience ranking, and has earned a measly $366 million at the box office. Star of Black Adam, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has remained outspoken about its reception, coming to the film's defense multiple times since its October release. And and I can understand why. I mean, when it comes to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, this movie was kind of his baby. He's been discussing it ever since he effectively got cast, which I believe that announcement was made way back in I think right around Man of Steel in 2023. So naturally he's gonna want to defend the movie. But now, not long after the movie's initial release, it seems Black Adam is coming home a lot sooner than some may have thought it would. A Warner Brothers press release announced Black Adam would hit digital storefronts on November 22nd, just 31 days after its theatrical debut. The digital launch marks the shortest theatrical exclusive window for any widely released DCU film. That is very true. Again, that's why it did come as such a shock. I mean, did the movie just performed so terribly at the box office that DC was like, okay, let's just do home release digitally. Maybe we're going to try to recoup some of, what we lost. I don't know, but it's interesting. The film will also get a full 4K Blu-ray launch just after the new year on January 3rd, 2023. Both the digital release and the Blu-ray disc come packed with special features, though the exact details of those remain unclear at the moment. However, judging from the list from WB, it seems audiences will get a documentary about the history of Dwayne Johnson's DC character and the Justice Society of America, a deep dive into the movie's various costumes and a look at the design of Black Adam's fictional nation, Kondak. Yes, the full list of special features can be seen below. Yeah, so we got the history of Black Adam, who is the Justice Society, from soul to screen, Black Adam, a flawed hero, Black Adam, new tech in an old world, Black Adam taking flight, Kondak designing a nation, the Rock of Eternity, costumes make the hero, Black Adam, a new type of action. And under this next heading, why is Black Adam hitting digital so soon? Must be disappointing for WB to see its big fall DC movies hit the way it did. After finding success earlier in the year with Matt Reeves' The Batman, which was an amazing movie, by the way. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. Even I was surprised how good that movie was. It was hoped the studio could ride the wave of goodwill and round out 2022 with another banger. Well, that was not the case. Black Adam sort of came and went without much fanfare, aside from the cast and crew promoting the movie. It seems one of the only talking points coming out of the film was that it marked the return of Henry Cavill's Superman. Yes, that did actually get spoiled for me, because that's the nature of the internet. The movie came out to theaters. I didn't see it. I'm still on Facebook, Twitter, and like social media and whatnot, so yeah, sadly, that's something that got spoiled. But I did make a fun little short about it. This all plays into why the Dwayne Johnson-led blockbuster is cutting its losses and hitting digital as soon as possible. With this move, WB is really trying to get as much juice out of the Black Adam orange as it can. Pushing this move any later would have risked the film falling even further out of the conversation than it already has. Because, obviously Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever hit cinemas. And, when you have an older movie in theaters, even if only by a week, versus a newer movie, and of course we know that the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like those MCU movies, they tend to hit a lot harder than, the DC films. And anyway, with this move, WB is really trying to get pushing this move any later would have risked the film falling even further out of the conversation than it already has. This way, the studio is giving audiences as many options as possible to see the film, so WB can start to recoup its investment. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of like what I was saying is, it really seems like Black Adam just did not perform the way that WB was hoping. And it's just kind of like, hoping to make it up in digital sales, this month, to hopefully kind of raise the bar at least a little bit. Because if I had to guess, the digital version of the movie is going to be, maybe $20. It's usually what I see the DC movies go for when they first hit digital. So yeah, that's just again, that's just very interesting. But one thing I could tell is I'm going to get to watch Black Adam today, because as soon as it hits, I'm going to check it out, because I have heard some interesting things about the movie. Again, the response that I've noticed from people and stuff that watched it, not so much the critics, but everyone else, is that the film apparently is one of those movies that's entertaining, but not necessarily good. I have definitely seen some, big defenders of the movie saying it is actually a really good movie, and others saying it's just, Fast and the Furious with superpowers. It's a popcorn movie. It's a rock movie. And in that, that may be just enough to get me to enjoy it, because I do like those sort of like nonsensical popcorn movies, because I like to put on a movie and just enjoy myself. It doesn't have to be, deep philosophical or anything to that degree. So either way, I'm going to watch it as soon as it drops in a few hours. And, most likely after that, I will return in order to, give a review on the movie, since I haven't actually done that yet. But, in any other case, what do you think about this news? What did you think about the Black Adam movie if you've watched it? I'm very interested. Because, again, when I ask people, it's like, Most of the time, it's like I get different answers, but a consensus seems to be is that the movie is at least entertaining nonetheless. But still, please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.